So you're in a rush, you pull the door shut, and you leave your keys inside.
Doesn't that make for a really bad day? So you end up calling a locksmith, right? But the person who shows up may be part of what the Better Business Bureau is calling a nationwide swindle. It's a story ABC's John Matarese told us about just days ago. Tonight, ABC 2 News investigator Josie Sturman shows us how the scam is being kept alive right here in Baltimore.
They can jimmy their way into your home and pop a lock to gain access to your car. This time, though, you're paying them, needing their help in an emergency. But there's no way of knowing who's going to show up and what secrets they may have locked away.
They're illegitimate locksmiths. I won't call them locksmiths at all.
John Yates has harsh words for the people he says give his trade a bad name, ruining the trust he's worked so hard to build with his business in Anne Arundel County.
I hold this dear. This has put food on my table for better than 20 years.
But not every locksmith considers themselves a guardian of your trust. Some use their tools to rip you off. The Better Business Bureau is calling it a scam, one they spotted in 35 states, including Maryland. So how's it work? Well, it all starts with the phone book. You're locked out, so you turn to the yellow pages and find dozens of companies ready to help.
These people are serious and are investing some serious money because of the amount of money they're taking out of the state.
And industry experts say they get that money through ads, big and small, selling generic-named locksmith companies with local numbers and addresses.
There is no street number, there's no street address. It just says that they'll take care of you locally, but they're not local.
In fact, many of these generic locksmiths are all tied to one out-of-state company, Dependable Locksmith in New York. According to a Better Business Bureau report, Dependable has had more than 250 complaints nationwide in the past 3 years, but few states have taken any legal or government action against the company.
Part of the problem is they keep coming up with new names.
Names that make it hard to figure out who's really part of the scam. So far, the BBB has tracked 18 aliases for Dependable, but our investigation found a few more even they didn't know about. We found them by checking 5 Baltimore area locksmiths with generic names. We started with the addresses and got our first clues. Looking to be saved from your lockout? Well, you won't find salvation at this 24-hour locksmith listed on Harford Road. It's a church. Chomping at the bit to get back into your car? What about A1 Locksmith on Pennsylvania Avenue? That's actually a corner carryout store. And forget always available on Fleet Street. There aren't any locksmiths available because it's the business office for a construction company. So the addresses are fake, but are these companies linked to Dependable? We dialed all of their phone numbers. They traced back to the same call center, all apparently run by Dependable. As for what happens when you get through to their numbers, well, that's the biggest part of the scam.
They'll quote you a price over the phone, but in actuality, the total cost may be double or triple what was quoted over the phone.
So we wanted to see exactly how this works. So we picked out one of the businesses that has a local name and a local number. We're going to lock my keys in the car and see what happens when they show up. Jocelyn, we give the operator our information and directions. They quoted us a fee. A $39 fee, okay. We wait 35 minutes, then the driver shows up in an unmarked car. He hands us the paperwork, and we find out our $39 quote has jumped all the way up to a $149 fee. So our guy gets us in, but he can't explain why our fee has changed or why his invoice says Dependable, even though we'd called A1 Emergency Locksmiths.
So as long as they're getting away with it, unregulated industry, it's going to continue to put us at some risk.
And that risk continues in Maryland in part because there's no licensing when it comes to locksmiths. That means no background checks, no fingerprinting, no way to know anything about the person who shows up to pop your lock.
As it is in the state of Maryland right now, you can come out of prison for breaking and entering, for any of the crimes, rape, murder, whatever, and say, I'm a locksmith.
A locksmith who may have few qualifications but can still get unlimited access to your home and your car. Josie Sturman, ABC 2 News investigators.
And we left messages and sent emails to Dependable's headquarters, but we got no response. As for where Maryland stands, for the third time in 15 years, the state is considering a bill that would license locksmiths.